Weili Zhang rendered the UFC strawweight GOAT unrecognizable after the greatest female fight in MMA history. Just a few weeks before the UFC closed its doors as the world stood still because of the global COVID-19 pandemic, fans got to witness one of the greatest fights in the promotion's history at UFC 248. On March 7, 2020, the UFC returned to the T-Mobile Arena as then middleweight champion. Israel Adesanya defended his title in the UFC 248 main event against Yoel Romero. Unfortunately, that fight flopped badly and is widely considered one of the most boring fights in UFC history. Despite that, the main event saw a 5-round war for the women's strawweight title as Weili Zhang looked to defend her strap against the consensus weight class GOAT, Joanna Jędrzejczyk. After racking up 5 title defenses in the division, the Pole earned her title as the greatest strawweight fighter of all time, but her reign came to an unfortunate end in 2017 when she was beaten by Rose Namajunas. Several fights later where he couldn't string together back-to-back wins, she was handed another title shot at UFC 248 in what was Weili's first title defense. Ahead of the fight, Zhang had to overcome multiple obstacles in regard to the COVID-19 pandemic and even had to change the location of her camp several times so that she could attain a US visa. Although Joanna was deemed to be nearing the end of her career because of her string of results leading up to the title fight, there was still a wide understanding that because of her skill, she could still be a huge threat. From the opening horn, the former strawweight queen showed that she was exactly that, instantly bringing the fight to Magnum Weili. After 2 amazing rounds, Weili began to land clean strikes on the forehead of Joanna midway through the 3rd round, visibly causing swelling. Come the 5th and final round, Jędrzejczyk looked completely unrecognizable as her head had doubled in size and she was wearing the damage of 5 incredibly tough and close rounds. Weili went on to retain the title with a split decision win, with the fight considered one of the greatest fights ever and by far the greatest female MMA fight in the sport's history.